Welcome back. Taking your phone calls, 412-575-2600 on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Also answering your tweets at Josh Taylor HD. Jason has a very interesting question. Gene and I were discussing this off the air. Jason asks, what Steeler do you think will come out of nowhere and have a good to great season this year? We're struggling with the concept of out of nowhere because most of the guys that are starting on this team were all starters last year. So these aren't guys that are coming out of nowhere. The entire offense is coming back. All these guys played last year, with the exception of Martavis Bryant. The rest of these guys played last year, and if you want to count Juju Smith-Schuster being a rookie, fine. On the defensive side of the ball, same situation. Most of these guys played last year, except for maybe TJ Watt, Cameron Sutton, if you want to put those guys in there. Those are the two guys that weren't here last year. The rest of these guys are pretty much guys that were here last year. Cody Sensabaugh was a free agent guy. Here's an out-of-nowhere guy, Nile Davis. Out-of-nowhere guy. Free agent signing, further down in the depth chart at the running back position. He can be very valuable as a return guy. So if you want to have a guy that's out of nowhere that maybe performs well, Nile Davis is my pick. What about you, Gene?
Yeah, I would go with Hunter, the receiver. He's been with a number of organizations.
He's
had a really good camp. But yeah, the concept of out of nowhere. You know, we talk about the Steelers every night of the week here, 365 days a year, and nobody's really sneaking up on anybody. I mean, unless someone's out there from the University of Nowhere that we don't know about.
It's hard to take this team in the context that we're talking about, a team that has a lot of veterans, a team that has a lot of guys coming over that have played last year, where you have a lot of continuity as regarding the starters and even a lot of the backups. It's hard to take that kind of team and project whom a out-of-nowhere guy is, which, by the way, is not a bad thing. That's not bad. When you have continuity and you have starters and established players that are pretty good when you consider the offensive line in its entirety, in Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant, that's not a bad problem to have. But as far as out-of-nowhere guys, there are very few guys that might sneak up on you and surprise you with this team, and that's definitely a good thing. We'll go back to the phone lines here. Jerry in Pleasant Hills. Jerry, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Gene. How are you both?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I had a question for both. First, Josh, what are you thinking about, just getting rid of Gong and just forgetting about this guy, possibly just, moving on? And then, Gene, I just wanted to get your thoughts on, best running back this year. You got Shady McCoy, Le'Veon Bell, great Scott. I mean, those are two great backs. Who's going to really take it? Thanks, guys.
Thanks for the call. To your first point, Jerry, and we're to the point where I have to agree with Jerry. I don't see a scenario, whether now or in the distant future, where there is a situation that's actually considered plausible, where Jung Ho Gung is a member of this team and contributing in the way that he was previously. It just doesn't seem realistic to me. Now, over the offseason, maybe things change. Maybe his application is granted, and maybe he shows up and he's there for spring training next year. I don't expect it personally. That's just where I am right now.
No, it wouldn't surprise me if at the end of the season the Pirates just cut ties with him. I mean, they don't seem to be able to even get a handle on any kind of resolution to the visa issue. Plus, if they had it, now you'd be dealing with a player who is still recovering from major surgery and has not played in a year. So, I mean, I don't know. Are you interested in that player?
Yeah, there's no real good outcome of this right now unless he just comes out and just blows everybody away and kills everybody's expectations, which I just don't see happening. I mean, there's really no good ending to this right now. As far as the other question about the running backs, I'll throw another name out there.
Yeah,
don't forget David Johnson in Arizona. Don't forget that guy. I mean, you talk about Le'Veon Bell. You can't talk about one without talking about the other. These are the two guys in the league that are very good at running the ball and very good at catching out of the backfield.
Can't talk about either of them without talking about Ezekiel Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott's another one, assuming that situation with him continues out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens there, too. So
I think Bell is the best of them.
I would agree with that. But he's definitely not alone. And this might be one of those years where you see a handful of guys, and don't forget Dalvin Cook also. There's a couple guys in this league now, younger players, that might surprise you and maybe bring a little bit of flash back to the running back position. Got to take another break. We'll wrap up when we come back. Stick around.